Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the mechanics of one of Japan's absolutely most terrifying entities. Listen, if you're fascinated by real urban mysteries and how horror legends are actually structured, you are in the exact right place. We're not just telling a spooky campfire story today. No, we're breaking down the actual anatomy of a nightmare. We're talking about a legend so pervasive that in certain quiet towns in Japan, literally no one wants to step outside alone after 10 p.m. because they know that roaming those empty streets is a figure hiding a terrifying secret right behind a simple white mask. So let's just jump right into it.
Imagine the sheer terror of hearing these chilling words. Tell me now, are you still beautiful? Now that isn't just some random threat, right? This is the actual, horrific origin of the legend. These words were spoken by a fiercely jealous husband in a moment of just unimaginable brutality. And by understanding this specific quote, we kind of unlock the tragic foundation of this whole entity. Because the horror she inflicts on others, it's a direct mirror of the trauma she experienced herself. It sets up this haunting, deeply eerie atmosphere that honestly continues to paralyze those empty Japanese streets to this very day.
So to truly grasp what we're dealing with here, let's establish a really clear definition. Kuchisake-onna translates to the slit-mouthed woman. She's categorized as a malevolent Japanese spirit, specifically a mutilated woman who roams dark, empty streets, cornering lone individuals to ask them a single deadly question. She's almost always reported wearing this long white coat, with her face obscured by a white surgical mask. And the thing is, surgical masks are a super common sight in Japan, which makes her presence blend in perfectly with the mundane, until it's far too late.
But how does a normal person actually become an eternal symbol of fear? Well, years ago, she was a remarkably beautiful wife. But on one fateful day, her husband began to suspect that she was unfaithful. He fully believed she was betraying him, and in a fit of this blinding, jealous rage, he attacked her. He violently slit her mouth from ear to ear, demanding to know if she thought she was still beautiful. She died that day for sure, but her soul, it never found peace. A restless, vengeful spirit was born right then and there, doomed to just repeat the trauma of her final moments for eternity.
Okay, moving right into Section 1, the impossible beauty trap.
Picture this for a second. You're walking down an empty street late at night. Suddenly, a woman in a white coat and a surgical mask steps directly into your path. She looks right at you and really softly asks this exact question. Am I beautiful? The psychological pressure here is immediate. You're caught completely off guard, and out of pure politeness or maybe just confusion, your instinct is to simply say yes. But that yes is exactly what springs the trap.
The very moment you say yes, the mask drops. And this right here is what we really have to highlight as the absolute core of this legend. The smile is the horror. She reveals this horrifying, gaping wound with her mouth slit literally from ear to ear. She leans in close and asks our second, way more terrifying question. Me que se te creo? How do I look now? The smile she's wearing isn't one of joy. It's this physical manifestation of her trauma, completely weaponized to paralyze you with sheer terror.
This whole setup brilliantly illustrates the ultimate lose-lose scenario. Think about it. If you panic and scream no to that second question, she kills you instantly, just like that. But if you tremble and answer yes, trying to appease her, she pulls out her weapon and slits your mouth to perfectly match hers. It is a flawlessly designed psychological dilemma. Traditional logic completely fails here. Both standard answers lead to a gruesome, unthinkable fate.
Which brings us to Section 2, Case Study Yuki's Escape.
Let's break down Yuki's breathless escape. So Yuki was a 16-year-old student walking home alone from his tuition classes late one night. When she cornered him, dropped the mask and asked, even now, Yuki's legs were shaking, obviously. But he remembered the legend. Showing some incredible quick thinking, he answered totally neutrally. He just said, "You look average." This unexpected, non-committal answer totally confused the entity. For just a fraction of a second, she paused, kind of lost in thought, and Yuki took that exact chance to sprint away as fast as he humanly could. But the terror absolutely wasn't over. As he was running, he heard the chilling sound of her heels right behind him. Click, clack, getting faster and faster. Looking back, he saw the sudden, terrifying flash of a giant, sharp pair of scissors in her hand. Yuki was literally running for his life, but as he glanced back again, she was standing directly behind him. She smiled that horrifying ear-to-ear smile and whispered these exact words right into his ear. "You cannot escape." The suffocating dread of that moment is just unimaginable. Believing it was truly the end, Yuki tightly closed his eyes, bracing for the fatal strike of those giant scissors.
But when Yuki finally opened his eyes, the street was completely empty. Only a mask remained. This takes us into Section 3, the white mask disappearances. The morning after Yuki's encounter, the police investigated the street but found absolutely zero evidence of a struggle or an attacker. Nothing. But the nightmare was really just beginning. Shortly after that night, people in the town began to vanish mysteriously. And here is the most unsettling part of all. At the scene of every single disappearance, investigators found only one clue left behind on the ground: a stark, white surgical mask. Surviving her once, just as Yuki did, clearly doesn't mean the threat to the community is actually extinguished. The legend proves that she is always hunting. So as we wrap up this explainer, remember the golden rule. If you're walking late at night and a masked girl stops you, never, ever give a direct answer. Which really leaves us with a chilling question to ponder. The next time you're walking alone on an empty street late at night and a woman in a white coat steps out of the shadows, what will you say? Stay curious, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.